Hey guys, welcome back. In this tutorial, we're going to learn the difference between a delete, truncate, and drop in SQL. So we're going to learn how to use them and the difference between the three and where to use them. So in this example, I'm just selecting from this table called employees, and here I have three columns. So I have ID, name, and department, and I just have 5 records here. For this example, an ID here is the primary key and it's an identity column. So it's like auto increment identity column. So it just keeps going up when you insert new value. So if I insert a new value, the identity column will be 6 automatically if I insert a new value here. So if you want to delete from this table, we have 3 options here. We can use a delete, we can use a truncate, and we can use a drop. So first I'm going to show you how to use a delete. So if I want to delete from this table, I'm just going to say delete from my employees table. And if I leave it as is, it's going to delete all the rows in this table. So let's say if I only want to delete records where the department is IT, I can use the where clause here. So I can say where department equals IT. So what it's going to do is it's going to delete from this employees table just these 2 records. Now, if I want to delete all the records from this table, I can use a truncate. So I can say truncate table employees. But if I want to delete 2 records or multiple records, I can't use a truncate here then, because truncate you can't use a where clause. So I can't use where here. It's gonna remove all the records from this table. This is how we use a truncate. And if I want to, let's say, drop the table or remove the table itself, not just the data, then I can use the drop statement. So I can say drop table employees. So first, let's execute this now. So I am going to delete these 2. Now let's select from our table. Those 2 records have been deleted. Now I'm going to truncate this table, and here again I can't use a where clause. So let's execute it now. Ran successfully. So if I select from this table, all the records are gone. And if I use the drop statement here, ran successfully. Now if I try to select from this table, the table does not exist. It's going to give me an error because the table itself has been dropped. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to recreate the table and insert data into it, the same records. Okay, so let's execute from it now. Okay, so now you know where to use which one. So let's say if you only want to delete specific rows, you're going to use delete statement, because we can use the where clause. So we can filter it. We can delete 1 or more records, and we can also delete all records using it. And if you want to delete all the records from a table, we are going to use truncate. And then if you want to delete the table itself, we're going to use the drop command. So the main difference is, in a delete, we can use the where clause to filter the number of records we want to delete. In truncate, we remove all the rows, and in drop, we remove the entire table itself. In truncate, we remove the rows, but the table structure and everything is there. Now, delete is a DML statement, or data manipulation language. And truncate and drop are both DDLs. They're both data definition language. So when we actually do a delete, in the background, it applies row level or table level locks, and it's actually keeping track of all the deletes so we can roll it back. In truncate, in most of the databases, depending on the database you're using, it cannot be rolled back, but in SQL Server, you can actually roll it back as long as it's in a transaction block. And truncate, again, you can't roll it back. So speed wise, truncate is faster than a delete, and of course, drop is the fastest. Now, one more difference between a delete and a truncate is, let's say if we have this identity column. So you see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I delete from this table, let's say if I'm deleting those 2 records, let me select from it here. Okay, you see those are deleted. And if I, let's say, insert 2 records in it, so I'm just going to insert 2 records. And if I select from it here, you see it gave it a new identity column number. So it's keeping track of the watermark or the identity column. So it started from 6 and 7 here. So it gave it 6 and 7 instead. But let's say if I drop this table and recreate it, and if I let me just select from it here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I truncate this table And if I insert, let's say, 2 more records into it, now if I try to select from this table, you see it reset the identity column, so it started from 1 again. So a truncate is going to reset the identity column as well. Okay, so you can use either delete, drop, or truncate to delete records from your table, but it depends on like what you want to achieve. So if you want to delete a specific rows, you can use a delete. If you want to delete all the records from a table, you want it to be faster than a delete, and you still want to keep the structure and everything, then you want to use a truncate. And if you don't need the table anymore, if you want to just get rid of the data and the table, then you can use the drop statement. Okay, if you found this helpful, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel, and let me know if you guys have any questions. Thank you for watching.